Do you ever feel alone? Your friends just too busy washing their hair? Well, don't you fear, because board games can be your best companion during these lonely nights. And that's what this video is going to be about, the best solo board games out there and games that can ramp up your solo experience for people just getting into the solo board gaming journey. Now, before we get into my best recommended games, how about we discuss the 6 different types of solo games there are out there on the market. And the first one, dedicated solo games. Now, these are games that are designed from the ground up for single player only. And think of games like Under Falling Skies, Final Girl, For Northwood. So great solo experiences there. Next up, what about card solo experiences? And I'm thinking little games here like Orchard, Palm Island, Sprawlopolis. So little card games that you can just play by yourself any time of the day. They're a great way of doing it. Next up, what about campaign solo games? Now there's games out there that are great campaign games that are pretty much perfect for solo play. And really we've got Sleeping Gods there, that's the number one. But look, we won't recommend that to beginners, but that's an amazing solo game for when you're ready to take that next level. Now what else we got here? We've got two-handed solo. So there's games out there that might be say 2 to 4 players, but you can play two-handed and still play solo. And look, for them, most of them pretty good fun still. Next one we've got is the automa system. Now these are the ones where you're basically playing against an opponent, so an automated opponent. And the one who made this basically all common to everyone out there is Jamie Stegmaier with Snowmine Games. And think of games like Viticulture and Scythe and Wingspan. So we may be talking about Wingspan a bit later. And then lastly, the last one is fan created solo. So if your game doesn't actually have a solo, go check out BGG forums, because most of the time, most of these games, someone would have created a solo experience for it. So they're the 6 types of solo. Now let's get into these top games. Now we're going to rank these on complexity. So firstly, you're just starting out. You've never played a solo game in your life. I think the best experience you can have is a roll and write. And the roll and write I recommend is Fleet the Dice game. It is such a great game. Now, what do you get in the box? You get paper, and we get a few dice and a few cards, and that's all you get. That's why you can take roll and writes anywhere, get started with them, and they're going to be a great way to just ease yourself into solo experiences. Now, we also recommend Three Sisters. What about Gone Shone Clever? That's a classic now. And lastly, what else? We got Railroad Ink. That's also a good one. A lot of expansions for Railroad Ink there. So some great roll and writes to start off your solo gaming. Now, the beautiful thing about roll and writes is how simple they are. That's what I love about them. They're so quick to learn and so quick to set up and start playing. Well, we're just going to ramp that up to the next level, and I've got for you a lightweight game here called Tiny Towns. Now, the reason I love Tiny Towns is because it's the same sort of thing. It's really quick to learn the rules and pretty quick to set up on the table. Now, in this game, you are little creatures and you're trying to make a tiny town, which makes perfect sense. On it, you're going to have a 4x4 grid, and you're going to be placing out cubes, and those cubes are eventually going to turn into shapes. Those shapes turn into buildings, and those buildings earn you different points. Now, it is just such a wonderful way to start off your board gaming night with something lightweight, not that thinky, but also so much fun. Tiny Towns, it's a great next level solo experience. While Tiny Towns is a spatial pattern recognition game, Cascadia is going to ramp it up to the next level with tile laying pattern recognition. Now, in this beautiful puzzly game, we're going to be laying out habitat tiles, but also drafting wildlife tokens in the Pacific Northwest of America. It's a beautiful theme with beautiful artwork. Now, this game just brings that visual tactile experience of laying out tiles, but also adds a lot more thinkiness to your solo gaming experience. Now, from the same publishers, think about games like Calico and Verdant also have great solo experiences. Now there's lots of light to medium weight games just like Cascadia, and one that I am loving at the moment is Maple Valley by Kids Table Board Gaming. Now in this game, it sees us as cute little woodland creatures running around, foraging for food, running errands, and helping with the festivities of the upcoming spring carnival. It's a beautiful theme, it's a beautiful game. But what makes this game perfect for beginners? Well, it's the mechanics. we have set collection, we have resource management, and we have hand card management. Those three mechanics are perfect for people just getting into board gaming, and this is one of my favorites. So if you enjoy solo gaming, you're gonna love Maple Valley. And the next step, I reckon, is the most important step, and that's proper medium weight games. You're at that level now where you want a proper challenge. And I alluded to it at the start where Stonemaier Games gives you the best automa system, or basically the feeling of an automatic opponent facing off against you. Now in Wingspan, we are discovering birds, and look, it's such a beautiful artwork. But we're going to be discovering those birds over 3 separate wildlife preserves. And there's going to be, we're going to be collecting food, we're going to be laying out eggs. But the most important aspect of this game is the card abilities. So over the course of the game, you're going to be bouncing over these cards and they're going to give you more powerful abilities. And it's just such a great way of learning, I guess, card management, your own tableau in front of you. It's a wonderful solo experience and you really are taking it to the next level with Wingspan. Storytelling campaign games. These offer an enriching and immersive experience for new solo gamers. Now there's a blend of a narrative exploration mixed in with strategic gameplay that really lends to a compelling storyline that's going to suck you in so you get deeper learning about the world and the characters that you're playing with. The one I've picked is Lands of Galzia. This is again a beautiful world, and this time we're in the land of Galzia with beautiful animals running around. Now you can play one of those 4 animals and tell your own story. This is a fairly non-complex game that you can just enjoy the story. It really is the RPG of the board game world right here. Now for another experience, how about Chronicles of Avil? That's a great game that is getting a lot of buzz lately because it's just had a new expansion come out. Wait, pump those brakes. You're saying to yourself, this guy, all he loves is animal games. Well, next game's not an animal game, which is kind of nice. Now, as I move all of these animals out of the road here, look, just because you're a new solo board gamer doesn't mean you can't have the latest hotness. Now, the latest hotness right now is Heat. Everyone is loving Heat, and it's basically a racing car game where you're going around using card management to run around this track. Now that comes with its own solo, plus also you can add in extra drivers, I guess fake automa drivers. Anyway, all that hotness started with this game, Flamme Rouge, and this is a massive recommendation. I love this game as a solo game. Now you can buy the expansion Peloton, which will add in a solo, or you can just jump on BGG and find your own solo mode on there. And look, that was one of my 6 recommendations right at the start. You know, you can design your own solo game and put it on BGG. That is pretty cool. Anyway, Flamme Rouge, we are now cyclists going around a track, exact same thing, card management, going around a track, but we're getting exhausted, we're pumping our legs, going up those hills, we're getting exhausted. This is just the best solo game for everyone, beginners, experienced. I love me some Flamme Rouge and I highly recommend this as a beginner's solo game. Now for the last one, I wanted this to be special and it is going to be a very unique solo experience. But for this, we're going to have to go to the other side of my studio, and I never ever show this side of the studio. So here we go, going around over the light, and we are going to my unlock section. And my last recommendation, look, you've gone through all of the beginner games, gone up to some medium weight games. Now let's go for an escape room in a box. Now the Unlock series is my favorite, but the Exit series is also a really strong series. Now in these games, you're gonna open up and there's gonna be a whole bunch of puzzles. If you've ever done an escape room, it's like that, but with cards. Now I'm imagining you right now, a wine in one hand, an unlock puzzle on the table in front of you. Now that is a night out. Now that is all of my recommendations, from escape rooms to Flamme Rouge to campaign games to medium weight games to light games to roll and writes. This is the journey for you as a solo board gamer. So the first question we need to ask ourselves is, why is playing games by yourself so important? And I think the answer to that is it's quite a relaxing, personal, introspective gaming experience. And look, there's no pressures of other people. You can make your own decisions, your own strategies, and go at your own pace. Solo gaming is here to stay, and that's what this video is about. It's celebrating that solo experience. And there we have it. If this video was at all helpful to you and you appreciate the work I put into it, would love a thumbs up, even a cheeky little comment just telling me what is your favorite solo board game. And if you really like my work and you want to support me, how about a subscription just to help me get out to more people? Anyway, I'm Hogs. This is my solo collection. Till next time, laters.